Next tonight, survivors of decades of abuse in children's homes have received a personal apology from the leader of Nottinghamshire County Council. Kay Cutts was speaking as the authority spelled out its commitment to support the national inquiry into child sex abuse. Our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball reports.
The old Beechwood children's home where the abuse scandal first emerged. But what really happened all those years ago, and how can you put it right?
I now want to express my deepest and heartfelt apology.
Today, some of those survivors came to County Hall for this pledge from the council's leader.
You will have a voice, and you will be heard. There is a dreadful stain on the history of this council. Some children were entrusted to our care, and we failed them. We now know that they were subjected to horrible and heinous abuse that has left many damaged and scarred for life. The fact that this has happened is something that leaves me personally feeling deeply saddened and ashamed.
Oh, we've finally done it.
So was it enough for Josephine and Mickey? They were both residents at Beechwood and they've both come forward as survivors.
Do you know what? I can't even cry because I've done my crying. But my sadness is now happiness. I am so happy. I cannot believe the way I feel. I knew one day it would happen, but when? I just didn't want it to be when I was dead.
I've waited 50 years for something like this, and I've battled this since 2003, so it's massive.
It was our role to keep children safe, and we clearly didn't.
They've already had an apology from the council's previous Labour leader, and 350 former children in care have told Nottinghamshire police they were abused. This former residential social worker, Andres Logins, was jailed for rape, but with so little proof after so much time, it's one of only a handful of successful prosecutions. So now many are pinning their hopes on the independent child sex abuse inquiry. That's trying to establish the scale of what happened and to learn lessons for the future. It could be quite a tough time for this council, couldn't it, to be answering some pretty difficult questions?
I imagine it will be an extraordinarily tough time. We shall have to face the things that have happened in the past. Those things we can't put right, we can only put right the future, and that's where I'm looking now.
The County Council's already spent almost £1 million preparing evidence, trawling through allegations and records going right back to the 1940s for an inquiry that's trying to unearth some of Nottinghamshire's darkest secrets. Jeremy Ball, BBC's Midlands Today, West Bridgford.